Want to know how to start a new music genre? Listen to this. What up, y'all? TMC Guy here. Rossi set this one out, but he'll be back next week. So I'm tackling this behemoth of an album on my own today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can keep these videos coming. And without further ado, let's get into this. Now, I could have spoken about Paranoid, and I'm sure many heavy metal fans would prefer I spoke about that one. But I just wanted to talk about this one because of its importance and how pivotal it was for Ozzy's career. So yes, today I'll be tackling Black Sabbath's seminal debut album of the same name, Black Sabbath. So yeah, now I'm sure a lot of people are wondering why people were so sad over the past week over the death of Ozzy Osbourne. But remember guys, he wasn't just an ordinary rock star. This man started a whole new music genre. Him and his band, both the legendary music genre, of heavy metal. Every single metal band from every single decade, like Judas Priest, Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, Pantera, Slipknot, Korn, Linkin Park, Bring Me the Horizon, Nails, Ghost, Sleep Token, you name it. They all owe their livelihood and career to this band. Now let me explain how. Now I mentioned earlier that you can start a new music genre by listening to this album, but actually the genre that was birthed by this band, heavy metal, was actually birthed by accident. So what happened was the lead guitarist of the band, Tony Iommi, injured his fingers while working at a factory. He cut off the very tips of a few of his fingers, and this made it playing guitar like incredibly difficult and uncomfortable and painful for him. So Tony just decided to down-tune the guitars, which made it easier for Tony to play the guitar with his injured fingers because it reduced the string tension, making the strings softer and easier for him to press down on with those cut fingers. And thus we have the iconic sound, heavy sound of heavy metal guitars. Okay, so now I know heavy metal might be a hard sell for a lot of people, but this album is a pretty strong gateway. It's not too heavy, there is no screaming on this. The lyrical content isn't too dark, although it can definitely be really, really dark at times. In fact, quite frankly, maybe I've just been desensitized because I've listened to far darker bands than this. So I don't know. Maybe you guys might find it like really, really dark. Now, what immediately stands out about this album is the dark, eerie tone of the intros. Even besides that, your first introduction into the album is this, creepy album cover with some woman in black standing in a field just staring at you. Then the album starts off with lightning and rain and a bell ringing too. Even the guitar riff and Ozzy's singing gives me the creeps too on the opening track, with him just screaming, "Oh no, someone help me," which is like, just sends chills down my spine. It's creepy as heck. Even that riff in the intro track, it's actually based on a tritone, an interval of 3 whole notes, also called diabolus in musica, or the devil's interval, which was avoided in classical music for centuries due to its dissonant, ominous tone. And it was believed that if you played this note, you'd summon a demon or something. So, yeah. So a definite standout in this album is definitely just how creepy it is, especially that intro track. That first track is just really, really scary. But overall, I don't feel like any other track is nearly as creepy as that first track. So once you get past that track, you get the amazingly produced guitar riffing of this album. The guitars on this album, dude, they just sound so crisp and pristine. They just sound so amazing to this day. It's like this album was recorded with modern day equipment, even though it's like 55 years old at this point in time. So yeah, guys, this album is produced so immaculately. I just really love the guitar tone that Tony uses throughout the record. Even the different distortions and guitar effects that Tony uses as well are just so good. Like that wah pedal that he uses on the song The Wizard. And if you're going to take anything away from this album, you'll definitely take the sheer creepiness of this album and just how amazing the guitars sound. They just sound so good, dude. It's produced and sounds so pristine. Just the riffs that Tony uses and his solos, there's some of the best solos and riffing in metal history, in my opinion. to this day, and this album, like I said, like just now, is 55 years old, guys. A 55-year-old album, older than many of us as parents, older than my parents, crying out loud. Yet it still sounds so amazing and pristine. And the riffs are still some of the best ever to be laid in metal history, really. The riffs on this album are so amazing, guys. And yeah, so now onto my analysis. Listening to this album, I see why other bands wanted to sound like them. Like, I see why this album birthed a new genre, because nothing from the 60s sounds like this album in particular. So after it came out, I'm sure other bands were like, listen to that guitar tone, dude. Listen to that guitar riff, and listen to that lyrical content. I want to sound like this band, Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple were already a little heavy, but Black Sabbath was the first truly heavy metal band. So yeah, they were a very, very distinct sounding stand-up band of the time. Now, okay, let me just get the lyrical content out of the way. Many of the lyrics delve into things such as the occult, like the opening track where they talk about having an experience encountering some evil apparition, possibly a demon or the devil himself, and being paralyzed by fear, dread, and sheer terror. Okay, so like, yeah, I kind of take it back, like when I say, this album might not be too dark. It actually is like hella dark. Like now that I process it and think about it, that does sound like really terrifying. Just coming face to face with like a demon or the devil or whatever. But like, yeah, that opening track truly is really, really terrifying. It really does give me the creeps. Like anytime I listen to it, it's like, there's like some weird, crazy, shadowy figure or something standing behind me or whatever. So yeah, that first opening track can definitely hang with some of the darkest metal bands ever, quite frankly. Also the song N.I.B, where they talk about the devil falling in love and trying to redeem himself. There's lots of references to the occult on this album, but despite a lot of these dark lyrics and references to the devil, I was actually surprised to learn that Ozzy Osbourne was actually a devout Christian. He gave his life to Christ. Like, he actually believed in God and prayed and went to church and believed in a higher power in the existence of Jesus Christ and God. So yeah, I guess that's a bit of noteworthy trivia for you. Just goes to show how theatrical and fake, heavy metal can be. I guess heavy metal Satanists are, the hip hop's equivalent to fake gangsters or something. So yeah, but most of the songs actually don't fall into this occult lane. The other songs actually talk about things such as love, heartbreak, toxic relationships, and evil women. Also references to some pretty nihilistic themes such as social decay, war, and isolation. But my favorite track on here is actually just the boys in the band nerding out to the Lord of the Rings. They just talk about Gandalf the Grey on here, on a song called The Wizard. So yeah, lyrically, they cover everyday topics that then veer into some pretty scary and dark stuff like existential dreads and demons and stuff. But here and there, they can be quite abstract and imaginative, like on the song Behind the Wall of Sleep. But yeah, enough said about the lyrics. Let's get to these riffs, man. Let's get to these riffs. So like, yeah, I play guitar myself, and I just love hearing a good guitar riff, dude. Like, man. Yeah, and the riffs on this album, they really, really do deliver. This album has some of the best riffs in metal history. Tony is so creative, and his riffs are so complex and mesmerizing. My absolute favorite riff on this is definitely The Wizard. I love his use of a wah pedal in the main riff and that iconic chorus riff, that that stuff goes so hard for me. And the drummer Bill Ward also snapped on those drums as well. He plays a pretty catchy tune on that song that fits so well with Tony's guitar riff. And I also love the riff on N.I.B and his solos on here too. Like, he shreds this guitar to pieces on that song at the end of that song N.I.B. And I can't help but hum whenever I hear the main riff. It's a really nice backdrop to the main song where they tell a story of the devil trying to court a woman. So yeah, some of the riffs actually sound simplistic but still catchy, like on Evil Woman. The riff is nothing spectacular, just a simple, somewhat repetitive riff, and the song actually gives the bassist a really nice moment to shine on the album. It's probably his most standout track bass-wise too, in my opinion. And I also love how on this album, they kind of just chill and let Tony do his thing, because besides Ozzy's amazing vocal performance and charisma on this, the band knows that one of the best things they have in their arsenal is that guitarist. So they make lyrically minimalistic songs like Sleeping Village, whose runtime is dominated by Tony treating us to his amazing talents on the guitar. And as a guitar player myself, I just absolutely love it. I just absolutely just chilling, just listening to Tony Iommi's riffing. And I'm so here for all of that. And another standout for me, guitar playing wise, is definitely Warning. It's possibly my second favorite track on the album, and Tony's guitar improv is so mesmerizing. Like, you just stop everything you're doing when listening to the song just to focus on Tony riffing it out. His guitar playing is so attention grabbing. Like, just listen to him play from the 7-minute mark of the song Warning and you'll see what I mean. So before I get to my pros and cons, most of our viewers aren't actually subscribed. The YouTube analytics says about 80% of you guys aren't subscribed. So kindly do us a solid and like the video and subscribe to our channel. It really helps let the algorithm know that you like our stuff and will help promote our channel. Now let's continue. My pros and cons. So yeah, the band knows their strong points and are comfortable showing off their abilities, be it Ozzy's vocal performance or Tony's god-tier guitar playing. The album is so immaculately produced too, and it sounds so crisp. Lyrics can be dark and imaginative. The band is really good at running the gambit and being eerie and terrifying, but also talking about love and being vulnerable and relatable. I don't really have any cons for this album. Like, I love pretty much every song on it, and yeah. My standouts are pretty much everything on the album, but I'm gonna give a special shout out to the title track, The Wizard, N.I.B, and Warning. So yeah, guys, Black Sabbath isn't just a classic, it's a blueprint. It's heavy, it's creepy, it's beautifully produced, and it gave birth to a genre. Whether you're a metalhead or just curious, this album deserves a front-to-back listen. It has some of the best guitar playing you'll ever hear. If you want to know how to start a new genre, listen to this one. One of the greatest metal albums of all time. A definite S tier. Now guys, that's the end of the video. Like, the sun is already going down. I'm kind of dark on you, so yeah. That's the end of the video, guys. Please like and subscribe. Please share. Please be sure to comment what you think of our videos, how we can improve, whether we indeed did put you onto some new music. You can come back to the videos and tell us. Yeah. So this is you can come back to us and tell us, yeah, this is my new favorite album, whatever. I really like this album, whatever you feel. You hated the album, like, yeah, we'd still just really like to know. Like, share, comment, subscribe. This has been the TMC Guy. Peace out.